there was a PhD being handed out for multitasking, I can tell you the contenders, the top contenders, would definitely be moms. Our topic for today is multitasking and how as moms we can do it better, and just to find out if it's harming us or if it's doing us any good. Hi, my name is Christine Casina, and welcome to today's Parent. We are joined by Councillor Isabella Itambo, who's going to share insights with us on how we can multitask better and if it's doing us harm or good. Isabella, yes. Welcome to today's Parent.
Thank you.
What are your thoughts on multitasking, by the way?
For me, multitasking is creating a balance between your work life, family life, self-care, and even friends, and even the extended family.
That's a lot of multitasking.
Yes, it is.
Can you imagine if you are to do a job description for a mom? What would be there?
I don't even know where to start.
I know, because
I don't know what. It's 24 hours.
So much.
There is no beginning and there's no end. It's a continuous thing.
And we have those who wake up at 4 a.m.
Yes.
They have to prepare the, breakfast, for example, or supervise the help, or get the help to do the right thing in the morning, get the children ready for school.
Yes.
Have Mzee ready for breakfast as well. Make sure Mzee's shirt and everything is in order.
Yes.
Wake up the kids. And she hasn't even started preparing herself.
Yes.
There's a lot she needs to do.
There's a lot.
So multitasking and motherhood, they're in the same WhatsApp group.
Yes.
You can't separate the two.
No, you cannot.
You can't separate the two.
Yes, you can't.
Okay. So multitasking, if you think about it, is there any way that we benefit as moms when we multitask?
Well, you see, when you're multitasking, you have to put value on one thing. You ask yourself, where do you place your value? What is your first priority? Is it your job? Is it your family? Because where you place your value,
right,
then you will give more emphasis. And you have to plan yourself well so that you can multitask and you will not have a burnout.
Okay. So you are saying if we don't plan accordingly,
yes,
if we don't manage ourselves,
yes,
then possibly we are going to burn out.
It is expected.
But Isabella, I'm just wondering, is it a myth or is it possible to really get that work-life balance?
It is possible. It is possible.
You believe it's possible?
Yes, it is possible, because there are those who have managed. There are many things at play here. Sometimes even the personality of a person. There are those people who are hyperactive. And if you are hyperactive and you are not able to control yourself, you can find yourself doing so many things at the same time and you are not accomplishing anything. So at the end of the day, you are so frustrated and you actually can you can start getting into depression slowly by slowly.
Right.
So personalities play a big role. There are those personalities that are so calm and so collected, so they are very able to plan their time. They are able to do one thing at a time.
Or many things at a time.
Or many things at a time.
Right.
So that is one of the things. The other area is the upbringing of a person. Like the people now who are brought up during our time are very different from the children we are bringing up now. When we were growing up, we were used to doing so many things and tough stuff, so that some of the things we find to do in the house, they are not as challenging as today's mom. Because today's mom, maybe like the ones who grew up in town, they grew up without doing much of the work. There was a house help who was doing the cooking, doing the clothes, there was everything. And then someone gets into motherhood without a preparation of what motherhood is all about.
And they have to do all these things suddenly for themselves and for other people.
Yes, they were not prepared. And that can be a real challenge when you find you have to iron clothes. Yet you didn't know even how to iron clothes. You have to cook. You don't even know how to cook. You have to take care of a baby. Yourself, you are just you are even a grown baby yourself. So there are many challenges with today's moms that were not really a challenge to people like us. I can say so. But there's still hope, even for the today mom, because there's one mistake I have found that people are making. Let me say this. If a lady gets married to a man, before she came across this man, he was a grown-up. He was having his own house. he was taking care of himself, taking care of his clothes, taking care of his food. And through the courtship, you are not cooking for him.
He was cooking for
He
himself,
was
or getting
cooking for
somebody to
himself
cook
and
for
doing
him.
everything. But now, the moment you get married and now you're in the same house, some ladies make a mistake of the myth of you are now the good wife, you have to take care of this man. You start now babying the man. You start doing everything for him, A to Z. You are the one to know where his socks are. Even when you clean his socks, you put them in a drawer. You have to pick them for him. You clean his clothes, you have to choose for him which shirt
What he's wearing in the
match
morning.
with what. You know, those are stresses you are placing on yourself.
yourself.
You have to show this man that he has to sit down. You have to feed him. Now, this is before you get a baby. So now you treat the man like a king he enjoys. And you know, someone said a habit is a disease.
That is true.
Now, when the baby comes in, another responsibility is added.
You have a new king or queen.
Now, when will you have time to pick the socks from the drawer? Have time, you have placed tea on the table. You still have to go and pour the tea for the person on the cup. Because you taught yourself these things.
You know, Isabella, I have to ask you this. Two
Yes.
things you've mentioned that are
Yes.
very important. When children are young, what I'm learning from you, when
Yes.
our children are young,
Yes.
girls or boys,
Yes.
we need to get them to do stuff for themselves around the home.
That is
so
it.
they can start learning early
Yes.
how to do things for themselves
Yes.
and possibly multitask.
Yes.
Right? And then number two, for those who are in, who are married or they have partners, that we shouldn't baby them.
Yes.
Because then it starts from that point that you put so much pressure on yourself.
Yes.
That I need to do A, B, C, D for this person. That is a lot of pressure to put on oneself. That is true.
It is manageable before you have a baby because you are only the two of you.
Yeah.
But now, the moment a baby comes in, as you started and said, you are running, you have to prepare yourself, prepare the baby,
Yeah.
and you have to prepare the big baby with
Yeah.
your husband. You have to do all these things. So what I would advise moms is this. When you get married, don't take the whole responsibility of this man on yourself. Share duties at home. When you are doing the laundry, the man is cooking. When you are finished with cooking, maybe the man can be doing something else, so that it is our task. It is not my task. So the time the child will come, it will just continue. When you are taking care of the baby, maybe the man will be fixing food. In the morning, maybe when you are feeding the child, the man is maybe polishing shoes or something like that. When you help one another, it becomes easier.
Isabella.
Yes.
Research has actually shown that women are not the best at multitasking.
Yes.
But somehow we give ourselves this PhD that we are the best at it. From the generation you're coming from
Yes.
to this generation we are now, how do we break that mold to get our men to, help us around the home, and for women to release that title we've been given by society that we need to be the servants, to be the ones serving everybody? How do you break away from that? From a psychologist's perspective.
It is all in the mind. It is all in the mind. And as for me, I am teaching the young girls. Because as I began, I told you that I'm mentoring some college students.
Right.
And because when I put them together, I tell them, there's no job for anyone. Women these days can do the jobs that were meant for men, and men can do the jobs that were meant for women.
Yeah.
So women should not have the old mentality, they have to do everything for the men. No. There has to be a balance. A man can cook, a man can clean utensils, a man can make the bed, a man can make everything.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of agreement. And there is no school where you go to be taught this. You will only be mentored and taught. But this does not mean that women should be the kichwangumu, whereby you are making men do everything. No. It's just out of love. If your man loves you, really, he will help you out.
Yeah.
And if you love your man, you will also respect him.
Yeah.
So it's just helping one another with agreement and with love. And when the man is doing the job, it is not like he's doing your job.
No.
It is our job we are doing together to make our home better.
Well put. I have a question from Pam who sent us, a question on our 22999 number, and her question is, I recently got married, and I find that I have to wake up at 4 a.m. To prepare my family for the day, iron, and then she has to do laundry, go to work, and still come back and keep everyone smiling. She says she's exhausted most of the time. How can she cope better?
Now that touches on what we have talked about. If Pam did not have an agreement with the husband that he should be helping, what she should do, she should not play the superwoman. She should just have a sitting with the husband and tell him, this work I have in this house is giving me a burnout. I would love if you would help me do 1, 2, 3 things. And with that, he will see it is necessary. Also, she can get a helper.
Okay.
Someone who can be assisting in the house. And I can also say she can have a planner. If you have a planner, you are able to plan your things. You are able to categorize your things on urgent, important, most important, the things to do first.
So you're able to prioritize.
Yes, you prioritize. When you go to work, you keep the work time. If you get to work at 8 and leave at 5, ensure you have discipline at workplace. You do your assignment, you finish on time.
Yeah.
And let your colleagues also know that you are a mother, you are a busy mother, so that they don't engage you unnecessarily, sucking your energy when you should be doing something meaningful in the office. So that by the time you are through with the office, you can go back home and do your other work.
Yeah.
There are some people these days, those who have at least some extra money, who are employing professionals, like a house manager, someone who can do some of these errands for you. If you are able, you can even buy a vehicle for that person and empower them, give them even a card. Let them go to the malls and do some of this shopping for you. Let them pay some bills for you. Let them run the errands for you instead of you doing everything.
You know, it's amazing you've mentioned that, because I have a friend of mine, and way back when I thought that was very different, because what she decided to do is to empower her house girl.
Yes.
And took her house girl to a driving school. So when it comes to the errands and picking kids from school, she works on Mombasa Road.
Yes.
The help is the one who does it. So she doesn't have to stress about it.
If you have money, that would be the best thing. And when you employ someone who is a professional, the person will do everything well, because the food will be cooked well. If it is ironing, it will be done in a professional way. Your house, you find everything is in order. You can get, if you have more money, you can get someone who will be taking care of the baby. That's it. The other one will do all the other work in the house and go out to do 1 or 2 things.
Okay.
And when you come, so you only concentrate on coming home to get time to be with your children and the family. Not that family time together. Like you can schedule yourself during meal time. It is family time together. When now you sit with your children, if they have gone to school, you can be able to ask, how was school, how is teacher, how is everything.
And engage, meaningfully.
Engage. Even you share your life, how it was at work, your husband. That is family. You get to know what your child is going through, what your hubby is going through. They get to know what you are going through. If you are fatigued, you tell them today was a bad day, and they are able to feel you. With that, you bond as a family.
All right, Isabella, let's take a short break and then we continue when we come back. Welcome back to this episode of Today's Parent, where we are talking about multitasking. And Isabella, as we come back from the break, we've talked about so far, the tips here and there that moms, I'm sure, have picked up. Try to ask for help. Try to engage, other people. Get, I don't know, you can hire a driver if you can, hire extra help if you can. But I want to focus on one thing that I think a lot of moms struggle with.
Yes.
Asking for help. Because we wear that superwoman crown, we can do everything and anything. How can we put that crown down and learn to ask for help from a psychologist's perspective?
Communication is everything.
Communication.
Yes. In every relationship, there has to be a clear communication. You cannot assume that the people around you know what you're feeling or what you're going through.
And what you want.
Or even what you want. You have to open up your mouth and express your feelings. Express your desire.
And say, I need help.
Yes, I need help. Even those mothers who have bigger children. they need to teach their children how to do things in the house.
Yeah.
And they need to share their assignments. Recently, I went to visit a friend of mine, and she's all alone. She doesn't have a help, and she's a high school teacher and with small boys. And I loved what she did. The boy is in grade 6, and the other one is in grade 2. When they got into the house, immediately the big boy walked out with the shoes, the school shoes, to wipe the mud and polish them. So that was the assignment. The small boy was already doing his assignment. The mother was in the kitchen fixing food. Immediately, the big boy took the young boy to the bathroom, get inside to bathe, you know, and he got inside, he bathed. Within a short time, he came with his clothes, he placed for him there. It was in the living room, but it's okay. He placed the clothes there, and he went to do his homework as the boy was having a shower. When this one came from the shower, he was already in for the shower. After that, they were all seated. The mother brought the food, they ate, and he told the big boy, take your brother, go to bed. They left. You know, everybody was having something to do.
And the mother didn't have to yell at anybody?
No, she did not yell at anybody. They know what to do. It's bring your diary, and the small one has gone for the diary. The mother is still in the kitchen. She was alone. The husband was in the village. And everything was done. So you see the boys, the children were involved. And when children are good and they love helping, sometimes we baby them so much.
So as moms, we don't have to do everything and anything for our children.
No,
we need to start them young.
Even the bed, teach them how to make the bed,
Yeah.
allow them to make the bed. If they don't make it neatly, it's okay. Don't go straightening it for them.
Especially when they are seeing, eh?
Yes. Just let them move step by step.
Okay.
With time, everything is going to be okay.
Okay. All right. What else can moms do? What else can moms do? Because what I think for sure, and you mentioned it in the first part as well, we can adopt technology to make it work for us.
Yes.
I haven't reached that level yet to go online and look at this website, for example, and buy my nyanya, my skuma online because I want to go to the market and touch. But you know, you can shop online.
You can.
You don't have to queue in the supermarket.
And that is good.
And that saves time. Maybe we can adopt online shopping as well.
People are already doing it.
So I'm late to the party.
If people are doing it even in their workplace, why can't you do it at home?
Yeah.
Someone can shop for you. Someone can even drop food. You can have someone who will come to your house, cook food for you, and you store it in the fridge. Maybe even greens. You don't have to do it yourself. If you are there on Saturday and it's your only day for resting, why should you have a burnout?
Yeah.
You can give a few shillings to somebody who will come in and cook all the chapatis, cook all the grains, and do it for you. You give them money, they iron all the clothes for you. We need to involve other people. It's a way of also employment, helping someone, but you are also being helped.
How about shopping in bulk? I don't know during your time if you guys used to do that. Shop in bulk, you know, something that is going to last you the whole month, or, you know, what you can to try and shop in bulk.
Yeah, sometimes it helps. But
Except
you see,
of
when
course,
it
the
comes
vegetables and
to,
the fresh things.
yeah, those ones you cannot. And sometimes, depending on where you say they have power blackouts anytime.
Oh, yeah,
so you
then
cannot
there's
really
that.
rely on the fridge.
Yeah.
You can, so it depends on where you are. Shopping in bulk is also good if you can be able, especially for those people who don't have financial discipline. It's one of the best, so that by the time you are broke, you have food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But there's something I would like to say. One of the things that makes mothers to get a burnout is lack of self-care. You are busy taking care of everybody, taking care of the house, taking care of your husband, your children, your everything, even the cat. You forget yourself. Every mother should have personal time. You are a wife, but you are still a girl. You still have your girlfriends. You should create time where you leave your family, you go to hang out with your girlfriends. You just go and talk, you laugh. You forget you are a wife, you forget you are a mother, you just become a girl.
You know,
You enjoy life.
I love what you have said because I tell the moms around me, and it took the longest time, even for me to tell myself,
Yes.
and I know it's going to sound, I don't know how it's going to sound to your ears, that moms come first. You know why?
Yes, they should.
Because if you don't take care of yourself, how are you able to take care of other people?
That is the problem.
But, you know, our kids come first, our partners come first, and then we are always the last ones in that list.
Moms should have time for themselves.
But we say it, how can we tell the moms, or just give examples to the moms who are watching, how can they practice self-care?
You join a group.
You join?
Yes.
That is what themselves don't want to hear, but
No, yeah, they don't want to hear, but they also have their own groups and they have their friends.
at the car wash.
Yes, they have their groups and they go out. Join a group, because before you became a wife,
Yeah.
you had a group
And
of
you
friends.
said you are a girl.
Yes,
you are a girl.
You see, we have different levels. I am a mother, I am a wife, but I'm also a girl. When my mom calls me, she doesn't say, she calls me my girl. So I am still a girl. And I have me to take care of me. I have my personal needs. I need to just go and talk about nothing with my friends
And sit
we
and
laugh.
do nothing.
Yes, sit and do nothing, even take ice cream if I want, take pizza and enjoy myself.
I think moms
and
struggle.
laugh.
Moms struggle with doing nothing. That's
That is
what
the
they struggle
problem.
with.
It is a problem they have brought on themselves. It is a problem. And let me tell you, a mom needs to have time with herself. You call a meeting to yourself.
Yeah.
You ask yourself, where am I? Where have I come from? Have I lost it? Because especially when your children are young, you can lose it. You can reach a place where you don't even know where you are. It's just a cycle.
That's
Things
true. You're
just
moving
keep-
from one thing to another.
You're just like a
Football,
robot.
Ballet,
Yeah. Yes.
cooking, church, working.
You
You're very
need
right.
to
You are
have
very
a
right.
schedule for your life. There's time for church, there's time for friends, there's time for family, there's time for this. When you have that, you can be able to follow that program very well and you will live a balanced life. But if it's home, 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 one day when the children are grown up and they leave, now like the state I am in, if you didn't know how to have time with yourself or time even with your spouse where you can leave the children, go have time with your spouse,
Yeah.
you will be in a situation where you don't know what to do with yourself.
And who you are. You know,
You
lost
don't-
you
you
lose
lost
a sense
it.
of who you are.
Yes.
There's an article I read of a lady who was saying when her children left home, she had focused so much on her children. It left her in shock. She could not figure out who she was. And she had to start afresh, trying to rediscover her passions, what she loved, her friends. You know, even just connecting with friends, like you say, is so important.
Yes.
Because every time they call you, you say you're at home. I can't come out, I'm at home. I need to take, my son for whatever, or my daughter to, we have a family function. So you never create time for any other thing.
Now, those are the people who are the mother-in-laws who give problems to their daughters-in-law
Is it?
or the in-laws because they don't know life without their children. So the moment their children grow and live, they will keep following them. Have you cooked well for my son? Have you done this? Did you cook for your husband? Did you? Because they don't know life without you. But if they can learn to detach themselves from the children, even these children have their life.
They do.
They have their life.
They
They
do.
also want to breathe. They want to be also decision makers. They want to have time alone.
Somebody told me we are actually stewards to these children, not servants,
That is it.
and even to our families.
That is it.
But what moms have done, they've turned themselves into servants.
Some moms even choke their husbands. Because as I started and I said that they want to do everything, some husbands, they don't want you to do that, but it's like you want to baby them. You bring everything. You bring tea. Before even the man pours the tea, you have poured the tea. He goes to the wardrobe. Before he picks the clothes, honey, I picked this for you. You can put the
This
pink.
will look very nice on you.
So you are the one who has given yourself a duty that no one has given it to you.
This makes me wonder. I don't know who gave us this script that these are the things we need to do. Because I don't remember being told that this is what I need to do for my family. But all of us seem to be doing the same thing from one generation to the next.
It's a culture. I think our grandparents saw it from their great-grandparents. Our parents saw it from their parents. We saw it with our parents. And
So
so
we are doing
it's
the same
like
thing.
we are doing the same thing. But with our children, if we change, they can change.
Okay. So speaking of which, just doing it point by point, how can we get our moms to multitask better? How can we get them to multitask better and just have a sense of balance and be happy and not burn out and, just have that sense of self without losing themselves?
This is what I would say. They sit down and put their priorities down. And as I said earlier, self-care.
Practice self-care.
Yes, self-care is there. There is the baby or babies. There is the husband.
Yeah.
There is church if they are church people. and also there are friends, and there is work. So you put all those priorities, you have a work plan. When should I do this? When should I wake up? Maybe you wake up earlier,
Yeah.
you plan for the day. Or before you go to sleep, you sit
plan
down,
for the
you
next
plan
day.
for the next day. There are some clothes you need to put where, some shoes where, you plan for the next day. When you have planned everything, and as I said, with a planner, you have important, urgent, and most important. So
Important?
yes.
Urgent?
No, you start with urgent. That is the
Urgent?
first one.
Right.
Most important.
Most
then
important? Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that now you see, when should I do this? Maybe you are supposed to pay your electricity bill. That is urgent, because if you don't do it, will be disconnected,
Yeah.
which will cause more problems. Picking a child from school.
Definitely
Yeah,
urgent.
and there are many things. Instead of you driving to school, maybe there are mothers who are next to you,
Yeah.
your neighbors. You can team up, and one day one mother takes the children, another day.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, become
That's a
friends
good
with
idea.
other mothers, or a school van or school bus. That one will help. You plan if there are school events, because it is very good for a parent to be in the school events. Either you or your husband to go, or both of you. That is something which is urgent, because you must attend to everything. Because anyway, at the end of the day, these jobs and that we give a lot of time.
Yeah.
You know, even if you are a manager of a company, if you left today, someone else will replace you.
Tomorrow.
But there's no one who will replace you as a mom.
No.
So if you lose it with your child, that one is lost, and it is lost. So bonding with your children is very good. We can't at least have time. If you go to church after time, just say it's time for me to bond with my children.
Yeah.
That is good. So a planner is good for you. As we have said, online shopping is also
An
good for
option.
you.
It's also
Yes.
an option, yeah.
Training the people in your house.
Around you. And asking for help.
Yes, asking for help, communication, telling the people, training if their children to do what they do. Your spouse, tell your spouse to help you. Get a house help who is a bit maturer and someone who has some knowledge, so that you don't drain when you are also teaching them. That is good. Or I said, if you have extra money, you can get a house manager, someone who can do these things for you.
Right.
That would be good for you.
And what I like is that you say that we don't have to do everything
Yes.
for our partners.
That is it.
We found them capable.
Yes.
And we've made them incapable. So it will be good if you can hand over some of that power.
Yes.
And see how we can work as a team.
And let me tell you the truth. Most men, many men, they are glad to help. Most of the problem is the women,
Right.
not the men.
Well put. Thank you so much, Isabella. I have learned from you, and I know the moms who are watching, the parents who are watching, I've also learned from you. Thank you so much for your time.
Welcome.
I'm sure we are better multitaskers thanks to you going forward. All right. And with that, we come to the end of today's episode of Today's Parent. I hope you're going to be a better multitasker going forward. Isabella has shared many, many tips, and I know you have learned something. I have been your host, Christine Casina, and I want to thank our hosts here at Little Cribs, where you come to when you're looking for fun, exciting, durable, and affordable kids furniture for parenting resources. Don't suffer alone. Go to www.supermamas.co.ke. As I always say, it's a good day to have a beautiful day. Make a decision to have a good day. See you next time.